We're here with Savannah Hansen, aka Sunny, the brand new Mrs. JJ Wilson. Congratulations on getting married.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
So you're a blue belt and you train at Carlsbad Alliance, is that right?
Yeah, so when I'm getting ready for competitions or just in general, I go into the competition class with Johnny Faria at the Alliance Miramar. And then day to day, I'm training with the Carlsbad team. So both are awesome. Love them both.
Yeah, and you compete a lot. And I think what's your favorite move? Guillotine? And it's nasty.
Watch your neck. Yeah, it's my favorite. It's been my favorite. I think it's just because it's a white belt. It was one of the first things that I was able to actually implement and get on anyone that was better than me, so I just kept it going.
What would you say Jiu-Jitsu does for your personal life, for your confidence, for people who might be depressed, things like that?
Well, actually, when I first met Jay, I met him through Jiu-Jitsu, and I was definitely going through like a hard time in my life. And I always say I fell in love with two things at once. I fell in love with JJ, and I also fell in love with Jiu-Jitsu. And so I think that when you have an outlet that makes you feel like you can protect yourself, and you have something where you can go and kind of take your head out of your day-to-day life, and maybe if you're going through really hard things, you have your gym and you have your community, and you have something that just like you can get better at. Even if everything else in life is failing and you're having a hard time, it's something that can still make you better, and it never ends. It's always continuing. There's always something to learn. Sometimes.
So what's it like living with a professional fighter, being married to one?
It's interesting. Like yesterday was like our 1 month married. We kind of were gonna go out, and then it's like, oh, I'm tired, I have a competition. Valentine's Day is cutting weight. It's different, but you learn to appreciate it and kind of roll with the punches. I'm glad that you asked though, because a lot of people don't ask the partners or like the wives what it's like being with a professional fighter and the lifestyle. They ask the fighters, but nobody asks what it's like being on the other end of that. So I appreciate you asking, but it's interesting. It's cool.
Yeah, it seems like they kind of put the emphasis on the coaches and the nutritionists and stuff, but you're the one that has to be there every day for a month listening to him be hungry, right?
Yeah, so sometimes you're the one. In my case, there have been times where I'm doing his meal prepping, I'm helping him if he's really tired and he's in the bathtub and he's cutting weight and everybody else is pissing him off. I'm the one there to sit here to like wipe his head off and driving him to and from and all that stuff. So a lot of people don't see that end of it. So when you're with a professional fighter, the ride or die is definitely not a joke. It's serious when it comes to that stuff. And then also your partner's gonna lose sometimes, right? You're not always gonna be on this high of like winning and attention and people wanting pictures with them and all that stuff. There's gonna be times when they lose and people talk shit online, on Instagram. They have a lot of things to say in the comments, but don't say anything in the gym when they're with him. So, you gotta put up with that. All those
I wouldn't want to say anything to you.
I don't know about that one. No, I just say, don't make me get my husband.
How has the Jiu-Jitsu community welcomed you as a female?
I think that a lot of that depends on the gym that you're at. I'm really grateful that like Professor Johnny Faria and the people at Carlsbad, like Mark and Johnny Souza, they care about the women a lot. But there are gyms where they definitely don't pay as much attention to the female competitors as they do as the male competitors. But honestly, I'd say the biggest issue with female competitors is the other female competitors. And being welcoming, there's a lot of this like ego and competition, and it seems that the men have a better time at being happy for each other's achievements. And I think that if the women could kind of step up and help each other, and the black belt females and the brown belts were more helpful with like the lower belts, and we kind of stopped competing with each other and we just saw each other as teammates, I think that is what's holding women back the most, is the women, not the men. And I think that's a very controversial thing to say in the jiu-jitsu community, because we tend to say, it's a male-dominated sport, which it is, but if the women start continuing to help the women more, then we'll be okay.